Hello everybody, this is Vinayak from Voxfor Lifetime, and in this video tutorial I am going to show you how you can install and use aaPanel on your Voxfor Lifetime VPS. So let's get started. For that, first of all, you have to go to the Voxfor website. That is, let's go over here and type in voxfor.com. And just after clicking over the Voxfor website, you have to go to the login and you have to log into your client area to get your SSH keys or the IP address. Now let's navigate to our service over here and copy the IP address. So from here you have to copy the IP address and you have to use a SSH client, let's say Terminus for example, or putty if you're on Windows. And you have to first of all copy the IP address and then use the password as well, which is mentioned over here clearly. So let's go to the SSH of Terminus. And as you can see, I have already added my host over here. So what we have to do, if you are if you have not added your VPS in the Terminus, you just have to click on the new host button and enter your IP address over here and the credentials such as the username, which will be root, and the password over here. Password you can get it from the Voxfor dashboard. However, this password will only be valid for the first time when you are logging into your VPS server. Now let's start. So as you can see, I'm having this server with me. I'll just hit connect, and as you can see, it is asking me a security warning. So this will come if you have not saved the fingerprint of your VPS in your machine. This is due to security protocols which are in place. So let's hit continue. If you want to save the key, you can click on add and continue, or input T, you will click on accept instead of connect once. Now, what you have to do is you just have to get the aaPanel installation script. So for that, we can go to aaPanel, and after going to aaPanel, as you can see, there are two editions. There is a Pro edition, which is a paid version, and there's a free edition. However, there is not much of a difference between both of those. Almost everything, excluding the DDoS or some WAF applications, are available in the free version. So let's start it. Now, as you can see, I have copied the command for the free version. And now let me head back to the VPS. And now we will install the panel. As you can see, it is available for CentOS, Ubuntu, and Debian. So now what we can do is we can click Y to accept that yes, we are agreeing to the installation, and it will start downloading the packages for your aaPanel, such as the Python or other repositories which are required by aaPanel to make sure your panel and all the services work correctly. So in the meantime, when this is done, let me tell you about Vox4. Basically, Vox4 is providing you with lifetime hosting solutions. And if you use aaPanel with Vox4 Lifetime, so you will be having a control panel except for the cPanel or direct admin or the Plesk. And this is a free version. Like if you are not having that much of tasks, so you can use the aaPanel, and it will be a more cost efficient and cost saving method for you. Now, uh, also one more question thing I would like to tell you is that aaPanel is having a very simple UI, so you will not be having any issues while going in the aaPanel or navigating it. And as you can see that the zip file for panel is getting downloaded and it is being installed. And as I told you previously that aaPanel uses Python. So Python it is using for the basic operations of your uh, aaPanel to be done. And as you can see, it is being done right now. So let's wait a couple of minutes and it will also show you the username and other credentials over here. As you can see that it has already used a self-signed certificate and we have got our username over here. Okay, so what we can do now is we'll just have to wait for a minute or two. This maximum takes 7 to 10 minutes, and it can depend on your server time or the server speed actually. As you can see that the panel is being started and our installation will be complete any moment. Okay, yeah. See, so now our installation is complete, and what you have to notice over here is you have to copy the IPv4 address instead of the IPv6 address. Now, I'll just have to copy this address from here and let me paste it in the console over here in the web bar. And now you have to click on advanced, because as I told you, it is a self-signed certificate, so it will not be a good thing. You have to replace it either with a let's encrypt certificate or a free certificate issued by Cloudflare, or you can buy a certificate from us as well, or from any provider. Now we have to hit the proceed button to connect further. And as you can see, we are having the aaPanel login interface with us now. Now we have to copy the username. Also make a note that these details will be shown for one time only. After that, the password would be randomized because the password cannot be stored due to the security reasons. So now let me paste the password as well. And now we'll click on login. As you can see that we are now logged into the panel, and we are seeing that the installation was successful. And now we have a pop-up which tells us that we can install all of these applications and the tech stack, which is an LNMP, that is for Nginx, MySQL, PHP admin. Okay, so if you want, we can use this, or if you are into Apache, you can use the Apache as well. Now, what you have to take a note of is that there are several versions of Apache or Nginx available over here, and you have to choose the MySQL as well, because in aaPanel you are having the freedom to choose MariaDB or MySQL. Okay, and now let's start the installation. Also, one more thing, if you see over here that there are two methods. There is a quick install and a compiled version. So what this does is, basically, let's say if I do a quick install, and in the quick install, what will happen? It will just be for a development version, not for the production version. So if you want to have a complete installation, you have to go with the compiled version, and it can take a longer time as compared to the quick install. So let's click on the quick install for now, and the task will be getting started for installation. And as you can see that it is loading, it will take a minute or two. Yeah, and as you can see over here, the download has started for the Nginx script to be done. So in the meantime that it is done, you can also monitor the progress from here, or you can go from the execution log. However, the execution log will only show you the output for the last operation which you performed. So let's wait for it to be done. uh, and also over here you can see that you have a login to aaPanel. Like, let's say if you want to have some support from the aaPanel forum, so you can register your account over here. And as you can see that these are the services which aaPanel is offering to you for that. Or you can just simply click on the skip button, and you don't need to do a sign up on aaPanel. It's completely optional. So in the meantime that the installation is being done, let me show you around the aaPanel. As you can see, it shows us what system it is that we are using. So we are currently on Ubuntu 22.04 LTS version, and we are using the free version of the aaPanel currently, and the version is 7.0.12. Also, you have this system status over here, which shows you what is the current status of your system, like how much load is your system handling, or the CPU usage which your system is having, or the RAM usage, or the storage usage over here. Okay, so this section particularly helps us as per this RAM and CPU and the load. Is that you don't have to manually go into the SSH and type the htop command or other commands used for monitoring the processes or the load status. So this is a good point in the aaPanel. Apart from that, let's say if you are hosting some sites with aaPanel, the option which you will be having is, you can just view all of the sites you are hosting within the aaPanel, or the FTP accounts you have created using the aaPanel, or the databases. And also you have a security tab over here, from which you can see all the risk factors which will show, or which can be important for aaPanel access. So you can fix them and click on the retest button to check them. Now, apart from this, you can also view the traffic, how much traffic is being used, or how much is the disk input output usage, and everything. Now let's move on to the website section. So from this website section, you can add any of your website. Let's say you are having a PHP website or a static website. You can add it from here using the add site button. Also, you can set a default website. So let's say if someone goes over the IP and they will not be able to see the default page, they will be seeing the default website or default page which you have set from the AA panel. So you can use that. And let's say if I want to add a site, so this is very easy. As you can see that you just have to type in your domain name over here. So in my case, I'll let's say add vinayak.voxfor.com, and I can just set the directory of the website, or in which directory I want to set up the website or the website files. You can also set up the FTP accounts or the database if you want, and you can also do the PHP version over here. And you can bulk create the websites. Like let's say you are having 15 to 20 websites which you want to deploy in one click, so you can use the batch create option for that. And there is also an option for WordPress deploy, which is similar to the WordPress manager in cPanel or direct admin. You can just simply click enter your domain name over here and enter the title and fill in everything and click on the confirm button, so it will generate a WordPress website for you. Apart from that, there is a dedicated WP toolkit button, which is only accessible if you log into the panel and have a pro plan with them. And just like that, there is the FTP option. So right now, as you can see that it is not installed because right now MySQL is under the installation process. So let's wait for that. Also, in the website section, you have the Node project. Let's say you want to run a Node application. So you can just quickly go over here and click on the install button and click on the confirm button to confirm that you want to install the Node.js. And after that, a pop-up will come and you just have to click on install. So now Node.js will be installed, and what you have to do is you have to download the Node modules, or let's say the Node version in our case. So from here, I'll just choose the all version so that I will be getting the list of all the versions, and I'll click on simply update version list. So it will update the latest version which are available. So let's say I just want to use the 22.12. I'll simply hit install, and as you can see, it has started installing the Node version now. So this is a very good approach. Instead of you going through the SSH and all the other time-consuming processes, you can simply deploy your Node projects using this section of the website or the AA panel. So let's wait for it to be done. It may take some time if you see. So let me just refresh the page and let's see. I think it would be installed by now. Yeah, so it is installed. Now let me install one more version. So that is 22.10, sorry, 11. And once it is installed, you can also set a command line version for the node. So let's say if you don't want to deploy the node application using the AA panel, and if you want to deploy it using, the command line or SSH, you can do that using this particular option, which we will be showing you now. So let's wait for it. I think it may take some time. So let's do one thing. Let's just refresh it again. And yeah, I think it's done now. So from here, you can just set the version. So I'm setting it to 22.12, and it is giving me a message that setup successful. So this is a good thing. And if you want to add a node project, you can simply click on the node project over here and choose the directory where your files are located for the node project. You can name the project anything, like let's say I want to name it a test project, and then from the package.json file it will get the running operation, like what it is you want to do, like the build or start or no daemon, like that. Also it is giving you the option to specify port, that on which port you want the application to be in which port the server is listening for your website or connections are being relayed. And you can choose the node version from here using the installed versions. If there is not the installed version, you can just simply click on install other and the same process will happen. You have to install and come to this page and then select it. And then you have to enter the domain name and simply click on confirm. So this will, make your node project live. So I think that MySQL would be done by now. Yeah, MySQL is done. Now let's do one thing. Let me show you the database, which is the main thing. So over here, as you can see that MySQL is installed, you can simply add a database over here. So let's say I just want to add a database named test. I can do that. You can also specify the type of the characters, that is UTF-8 or any others if you want. You can set the password, or you can use a randomly generated password for this, and your server will have a database ready. You can also change the root password of the MySQL from here, which is a very easy way to change that instead of going to the command line and doing it again and again. And you can also access it using the phpMy button, phpMy admin. And as told that it is being installed over here from the aaPanel, so it may take some time. That's not an issue. You can also import remote databases. For this you have to use white labeling using the IP. We have already done an article on that in our website. You should go check it out. And as you can see, we can see which version of MySQL is there which we are using. And if you want, you can also do the SQL server. So for that SQL server, I've already told you that you need to add the remote DB. So you have to do that. You can also install MongoDB as well. So let's say if I want to use MongoDB, I'll just click over here and I can select the version 8, which is just released this year itself in the after September, and it has capabilities such as AI vector search, etc. So let me just click on the submit button, and yeah, the installation for MongoDB will start now. So what we can do now is, until the MongoDB is in, you can also see we are having a Redis option. So Redis is basically, object cache, which helps you speed up your website. So you can install that as well. I can just simply follow the same steps which I did for installing the other applications, and it will be done. You can also install PostgreSQL instead of doing it manually using the SSH. So this saves a lot of time for you, as you don't have to set up everything again and again, because aaPanel will take care of that. Also, aaPanel offers you the Docker, which is a good thing if you want to run Docker applications or Docker images. We have also done some articles on that as well, like how you can use Docker to run AI images or run your own LLMs. So from here, you can just simply install the Docker, and you can see that the install method, there are three methods, so we'll just go with the default method. If the default method doesn't work, only then you have to go for any another method, or let's say if you want to add some more customizations, then you can go with it. And as you can see that we have to enable the Docker service, that is a thing. Also, if I want to monitor the server statistics, I can turn on the monitor, and let's say what will be the load average, or how much is the CPU usage, or how much is the memory usage. I can see all of that from this panel. Also, aaPanel has a built-in firewall. So let's say I want to allow or block a specific port. I can do that from here using the add port rule, and I can specify whether the port is TCP or UDP, or whether it is for both. And you can also specify a particular IP if you want, or you can do it for any IP. And like this, you can just simply add a firewall rule. And there is this for SSH, from where you can turn on or off your SSH, or you can do the root passwords using the SSH login keys, which are pub key or private keys. And they offer you brute force protection as well. Although it is only recommended that you use the brute force only if you have some experience in Linux, or you can contact Voxfor, so we can set it up for you. And there is a compiler access as well, and there's an intrusion, which is a paid feature. As you can see, it is buy now, so for that you have to use a pro version, because in pro version it is already included. And there is the option for system hardening, so you can use these options. Now let's come to the firewall, which I told you, like the WoF. So WoF is basically a premium plugin or premium tool, which is offered by aaPanel. So you can, analyze or block some particular IPs or some particular kind of traffic from your website. And you can also use the server within your aaPanel. For that, you have to just install the mail services and register on this aaPanel, because that is a mandatory thing. And as soon as you are done with it, you can start using the mail service on the aaPanel. Now let's go to the file section. So in the file section, aaPanel what does is, it gives you the whole server access. Like, let's say if you are into the root directory and you want to go to the user, or you want to go to the root, or let's say you want to go to any another folder which is a root folder and which should not be viewed by any other means, or unless it is necessary, you can do that using aaPanel for easy troubleshooting or easy locating of your files. Also, as you can see, there is a log option from here. You can see all the logs, like, let's say, who has entered the website, or what are the tasks which are executed, and everything you can see from here. Like, there's this website's log or the logs audit. Everything is there in the A panel. Also, you can have the SSH access to your server using the terminal option over here. So let's say I just want to use the command stop. I can simply run it over here. And just like this, there is a account section as well, from where you can add up to 30 new users for your aaPanel. This is a paid add-on from for the pro users. It will be free, but for the free users it is a paid add-on. Just like that, there's a cron option as well. From here you can add some cron tasks, such as a shell script, or if you want to initiate a backup, or let's say you want to synchronize a time, or anything which you want. And you can also access URLs, like if you want any cron job to be done, you can automate it using this particular section of the aaPanel. You can also do task scheduling, and there are predefined scripts in the aaPanel which will help you get through it. Now, let's come to the App Store. So basically, from the App Store, you can install other applications or other softwares which are required to run your VPS server. From here, like, let's say I want to install the load balancer, or let's say I want to install the DNS manager or the mail server, I can do that. Or let's say if I want to update the MySQL, I can simply click on update. I'll click on update now, and I'll just simply click on install. So what it will do is, it will start installing the updates for my MySQL and so on. Just like this, aaPanel is having a vast library of PHP support. So you can install all of these PHP versions if you want. And there's a Node.js version manager, which we have already showed you using the website section. And then there is the Java manager. So if you are running any Java applications on your server, you can use the Java manager for that. The PM2 manager is actually inbuilt now in the Node.js from the website. And there's a Docker as well, which is already, as I told you, it has been integrated in the Docker section. Just like that, you are having several options. Let's say Memcached, which is meme cache for object storage, or you can say making your website faster. And there's Elasticsearch, Open Lightspeed. Like, there are a lot of things which you can do on the aaPanel, for sure. So you can use any of these tools. Let's say you want to do Python tasks. So you can simply click on Python manager, and it will be starting to install the manager, and then you can use Python manager to deploy Python applications. Also, let's say if you want to back up your data, so you can directly use the FTP storage option or the Google Drive option, or you can use the AWS option, which is already included in the free tier of aaPanel. And there's the FFmpeg manager, or there are other sections as well. As you can see over here, there is a AWS S3, which is an object storage, or the Google Cloud. Also, you can use the system firewall, or let's say the server performance testing to do a benchmark of the server, and like PHP Guardian to protect your PHP code or PHP websites. And there are so many features. Apart from this, now the only thing left is with the settings section. So in the settings, what you can do is, you can close the panel access so no one can use the panel itself. You can enable or disable the IPv6. So I don't want to enable the IPv6. I'll disable it right now from here. And you can use the API as well. So let's say if you want to perform several actions using API, you can do that from here. And you can choose the language as well from here for your AA panel, and you can do the alias from here. So let's say instead of Linux panel, I want to mention over here Vox for panel, Vox for panel. So what I will do is I'll just simply click on the save, and now it will reload the page, and you can see over here that it is changed to Vox for panel. So it is just as simple as that. And you can also set the server IP. Let's say if you have changed the server IP, so you can use the server IP change option to do that. And you can change the server time as well. And you can also use two-factor authentication, or let's say if someone logs into the panel, you will get a notification for that as well on your Telegram or other supported methods. Also, you can change the SSL, which I told you already, and Google Authenticator. And let's say you want to bind a domain so that the AA panel will only be accessible through a single domain. Then you can use the domain option. Or let's say if you want to specify only some particular IPs which can do it, so you can go in the authorized IP section. Now, as for the panel port, you can just click on the modify button, and you can change the panel port from here. So these are the only things which are present in the A panel and which make A panel a good choice for you. Also, at that time I was unable to show the FTP. So from here you can add unlimited FTP accounts. You can add the username, you can specify which particular directory they can have access to, and this is a good thing. You can also change the FTP port from here. It is just a two-step command. Let's say you want to do the Docker, so you can just now go on the Docker, and you can do a one-click install for, let's say, WordPress or Nextcloud, MariaDB, or anything which you want. Okay. Also, I wanted to show you about the MongoDB. So let's go to the MongoDB, and as you can see that MongoDB is installed. You can specify if you want to use password or not. That is completely up to you. And there are several features which you can use in the MongoDB. Now the feature which is left to explore is the monitor. So I think it's 5 minutes since we have started the monitor. Yeah, and over here you can see what are the performance of the system. It can show you this type of performance, and you can choose on how much days you want to store the logs. So let's say I want to store the logs for 365 days. I'll just go over here and enter 365 and hit modify. So now the panel logs will be saved for 365 days. So that's all from my end. Thank you for watching the video. Have a good day.